It's time for you to electrify your career. In this video, I'll show you how to give your career the power surge it needs with some career advancement strategies. But the big question we need to think about before we start is, what does career progression look like for you? What's important for you to achieve? You may be looking for that next challenge. Is it a pay rise? Is it a promotion? A different role? New opportunities? Perhaps to diversify into a totally different way? A better work-life balance? Career advancement is whatever you make it, and I'm here to walk you through the steps you can take to gain clarity on what is it you want, but more importantly, how to go and find it, to give you the confidence and the competence to achieve what you want to do. Because if you don't future-proof yourself and plan for the future, who's going to do it for you? Now there's a thought. Don't leave your career growth to chance. Don't wait for them and they to make things happen. Be proactive about what you want, and you'll soon find the opportunities come knocking. So I've got 3 key strategies for us to cover, but as per usual, I like to come up with some quick tips just to get us thinking and it's in the mood. Bit of a warm up. Tip number 1, learn to think differently. Embrace change. Don't just carry on thinking like you think. Learn to think differently, how other people think, and embrace that change and those opportunities. Talk to people in other businesses, not just your own business, otherwise you'll only know what you think and what your people around you know. So if you want to develop and grow, you've got to talk to more people. Be really good at what you do. Give your work everything. You know, people say, oh, I've got to have an off day. Don't have off days. Perform to the best of your ability all the time. Okay, tip number 4, be a person of solutions, not problems. People like to employ and like to work with people who've got a solution, not that this wrong's that wrong. Yeah, flip it and make sure you're the person of the solutions. And always be a person that makes things happen. So there's just a few tips to get us up and running. Now for the 3 most important strategies that we're going to cover on this video. So the 3 strategies I want us to focus on are: really understand what your business does and how it works. Now that may sound totally obvious. Oh, I know what my business does. It does this, it does that. But what about all the different areas of it? And we're going to have a bit of a dive into that and sort of really think, do I really understand how my business works, how it makes money? Do I understand the financials, and where's it going in the future? Understand how your business works. Number 2 is network well. Oh yes, you know you need to. I know you keep putting it off, but as I keep saying, if you don't do it, who's going to do it for you? It is without doubt one of the most underused development tools going. There's so much knowledge, wisdom, advice out there that you can gain from others who have done what you've done in the past. And yeah, some really good people to give advice. You've got to find them. You've got to work on that. So networking. So that's number 2. Number 3, take opportunities. Yeah, we've already talked about starting to know what you want, but prioritise the things that make the biggest impact. And I'll be talking about that in a lot more detail shortly. So the first key strategy, really understand what your business does. I know it sounds obvious, but now we're working in remote teams and this hybrid way of working for a lot of people. Do we really have that interaction and connection with what other people are doing in our organisation? I think the answer is no, and I'm starting to see this as quite a big impact in organisations. So be that networker. We're going to come on and talk about that internally, but be that person that knows what's going on. Yeah, understand the impact you have on your end customers, your contribution. Yeah, how does your team work and how does your team interact with others? Is there better ways of doing it? Be that person that's always looking for these, what next? What's the next way of doing it? Don't hide away in your own little world, which is so easy to do when you're remote working. Perhaps you've got a project. Oh, I can't get involved in all of those other areas. I've got my project to focus on. That's great, but if you're not interacting and involving yourself with other people, how are you going to develop and grow across a business? How will people see you're the right person to develop and give opportunity to? Yeah. Understand the financials and how the business is doing, what it's doing now and what it's going to do in the future. I keep using this word networking, but understand within the business who's doing what and what are the future plans. How are decisions made? How do our senior management team, how are they motivated? What are their thoughts? How do they see the future? Really show an interest in starting to understand how it all works. It'll just make your opportunities grow because you know which direction and where to put your efforts in. Get involved, volunteer to run projects and facilitate meetings. Help others out, act as a mentor, provide some guidance. So this will just enable people to notice you and go, do you know what? We need them to get involved in this. And you get a good reputation for yourself, which is really important. So find the time, to know what's going on. I know that is different in different sizes of companies. If you're in a small company, it's going to be more obvious. In larger companies that are diversifying, using new technologies, new ways of working, are you aware of what they're doing and how it's working and the impact it's going to have on the future? So please, strategy 1, really understand what your business does, how it works, and what the future is going to be. Strategy 2, okay? Network well. Yes, I know I should be networking. I've got my list. I know there's people I need to speak to. I just don't get round to doing it. Hey, as I keep saying, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. If you don't do it, who's going to do it for you? So, do we put much effort into it? I know we discuss it, our annual reviews or appraisals and PDRs and development programs and meetings, but it is absolutely essential. We've already talked about networking internally. I want us to start thinking about networking externally. How other people and other companies think. Because otherwise you're limiting your opportunities, because if you only know what your company does and how it does it, if you only know what you think and how you do it, that's all you know. But if you can find out how other people work, what are their thinking processes, what opportunities do they see in the future, which way is the market going, where they need to be diversifying, you get so much more information. And you can then decide, okay, where do I need to be positioning myself? Without this, you're hunting around in the dark constantly. Conferences. I haven't got the time to go to conferences. I'm a busy person, I know. But you need to book yourself into and go and have conversations. And just have those informal conversations with people. What do you do? How do you do it? And network well. Don't spend too long with one person. See what the ideas are out there. Comparing them to what you're doing, what your team is doing, what your company is doing. Which way's the market going? Do you have a really good understanding of this? Is this a good marketplace to be in? Or perhaps I need to make some changes. There again about my business. So we need to network internally and externally. And also, I think a great opportunity is, even if you're not client facing, go and talk to your business's clients, its customers. Great source of opportunities and learning. How do they see the future? What are they going to be buying and wanting in the future? Do you really understand it? And have a real good focus on those opportunities for the future. In the description box below, there's a download in there that I would really encourage you to click on and download and enjoy and study, because it's all about your career advancement, it's all about opportunities, and it's about future-proofing yourself so you stay relevant and value for the rest of your working career. So, on to strategy 3. Take opportunities to future-proof yourself. Always be learning. Don't stop learning. What have you learned about yourself recently? There's a good question for you to mull over and think of. What do you need to learn for the future? We've done all the networking bits, so I'm not going to do that. But what do you need to learn? What competencies, what skills, what experiences do you need to take on? So it is important you reflect on this on a regular basis and go and grab them. If in doubt, give it a go. If you don't, who's going to do it for you? And start to create, as we've said, about what do you want to achieve in terms of your career? Create those plans. Create thinking time, be it in your appraisals, your PDRs, performance reviews, development plan reviews. Even if your manager and your business aren't very good at doing these things, you should be doing them yourself. I would say once every 6 months, sitting there thinking, what next? And reflect back, am I taking all the opportunities that come my way, or am I constantly saying to people, I'm too busy? Yeah, I just don't have enough time. I know you've got your tasks to do, your job to do, but you've got to think about your future. Yeah. Prioritise the activities that make the biggest impact. Don't get too bogged down in the detail. Now, sometimes, if we've got management positions or we've got technical positions, we want to develop and grow, but we can't because we're so bogged down on the day-to-day stuff. So do start to think about that. Am I creating opportunities to go into meetings with the senior leadership team, to go on client visits, to go to conferences, to network, to talk to people about the opportunities of what happens in the future? Because, as I keep saying, if we don't do it, who's going to do it for us? So be careful also getting bogged down in your comfort zone, or having a role that's just so niche that you're not really interacting with other people across your business or outside your business. And that can actually be quite damaging. So you've got to think, where's your interaction going with all of this? Take opportunities to learn, develop, to take on new challenges, because if you don't, who's going to do it for you? Just a few more quick tips. Learn how to sell yourself and to talk positively about yourself. It's essential to gain opportunities for career advancement. Find out your marketability, how perhaps other companies may sort of view your skill sets. Have some of those informal chats about opportunities elsewhere. Build good relationships with recruitment consultants. Be inquisitive. What's next in terms of learning and new experiences? What's next for your business? What's next in terms of the sales for the future? Products they're bringing to market. What are the financials looking at? What are they going to be looking like in the next 2 years, 18 months, 12 months? Be inquisitive and find these things out. And give your time to others. Act as a mentor. Act as someone who's willing to spare time and offer advice, because when you're doing that, you're learning from yourself, creates more career opportunities and career advancement ideas, and enjoy the journey. So just to summarise those 3 important strategies. Number 1, really know what your business does, how it does it, and be involved. That's number 1. Number 2, network well. Yes, you know you should be doing it. So come on, start making that list and picking up the phone, sending some messages, and start connecting with people that you know you need to connect with. Number 3, take opportunities to develop and grow. Don't get too bogged down in the detail, in sometimes the day-to-day nitty-gritty, and don't stay in your comfort zone too long. So thank you for your time. Please remember to subscribe, to like the video, and I'll see you on the next one.